Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back, and we're playing against Pago Youth today. You can see PanSa here in first place with a 2-goal differential. We should have had 6, but we gave up a couple of goals there at the end of that match. Let's see how we do today. I'm going to ignore these recommended changes to the team. We're just going to go forward and see what happens, including with the balanced mentality, and see if we get creamed or not. Let's see what happens. I don't know, a little bit nervous, but we're always a little bit nervous before these matches, and it could always be worse. I still remember what it was like with Ingolstadt earlier on this year, so let's see what happens here. Blah, blah, blah. How is the mood in the camp? It's pretty good. As you can see, we're back in the same stadium. This is a home match for us, so there's not going to be a whole ton of a difference. We had, what was it, like 65 season tickets sold, so we apparently have a following of some sort out here in American Samoa. And maybe that will increase if we can stay in first place, but I don't know if we can do that or not. Let's see what happens. We are in red and white again, so I guess we have the same road uniforms and home uniforms, so that should make it a little bit easier to follow us. And it is Pago Youth who have the ball. Let's see if we can get through, and we are able to get the ball out, and it's Teoni here with this free kick, and he just he's very close to scoring a goal. That's a whisker above goal. We do have a couple of guys here who are a little bit tired. I decided to put out our first team again instead of putting in the substitutes, even though we just finished playing that match. The reason why I decided to do this is because Pago Youth has a pretty good team. Norty with us now. Passes it forward for Maile, and there's that shot on goal that goes above everybody's head and into the crowd. It's still 0-0, and Walter passes it over to Teoni, and it's over to Afi, who knocks that one forward to Toa Maile, and it's 1-0 for PanSa FC. And that was pretty quick. That was pretty simple, and that's what we like to see, and I like this a lot. There's a little bit of a flick of a pass and just a little header, and Afi looks like he's playing a lot better so far today. I had to criticize him and fine him 1 week's wages after the last match. Of course, we don't have wages, so he got a fine of 0. But I let him know that I was very cross with him. Long killed it now, knocks us forward for Maile, and it has taken away from him, but Afi's there to win it back. Actually doing his job today. How about that? Over to Teoni, and it's over to Maile, who knocks it forward to Norty, over to Afi, and boy, that forces a really, really good deflection by the defender because the goalkeeper was completely out of position. Fatuao now will take this corner, knocks this one backwards, and it goes over everybody's head, and that was a little bit surprising. I think that was supposed to be a far post corner, and it just didn't quite get all the way over to that far post. Now we are worried about this, and boy, that was a deflection. That was a really good shot, but Pule Sala, and that deflected off of somebody. I think that deflected off of a Pago Youth player, and I think that'd be kind of a hard goal to save, no matter where you are, no matter what level it is. Take another look at this. So here comes that hard shot from range, and yeah, see, that knocks off of the defender. The goalkeeper goes the right way and probably would have been able to make the save, but unfortunately the defender gets a foot onto it and kind of knocks into his own goal. They don't call that one an own goal, but you saw it as well as I did. And it is them with the ball here again, and I have a feeling that this match might not be quite as successful as our last one was. Pago Youth now with the cross and with the header on goal. Unfortunately for us, that just goes over the top of the goal. It is Atu here with his goal kick, and he knocks it forward to absolutely nobody. And we need to get that one figured out. It's Latu with it. Latu with the ball. Knocks this one, lumps it forward, looking for Norty, and finds him over to Afi. Afi knocks this one forward for Maile, who scores, and he's got to be offside. But you know what? There is no VAR. There we go. There's the offside call. And yeah, I thought for sure he was offside here. We'll take a look, and I mean, yeah, he's offside. He's so far offside. I mean, he might as well be playing defense. This is really ridiculous. It's ridiculous for him to be that far offside. It's a pretty poor job by him. He should know where he is. And the match continues at the 1-1 scoreline, and it's Logo who knocks this one forward to Collins. That's the name I can actually say. And this is lumped forward by Pago Youth over to Palepua. And we have it over to Walter. Walter knocks this one forward, looking for Maile. Can't quite find him, but it's to Loke, over to Lonkild. Over to Teoni on the right side. Teoni now passes this one over to Walter again. Walter will take this here as we have that nice overlap, and it's over to Miley. This time he's onside. That's goal number 5 of the season. 2 goals here in the day, 2-1 PanSa FC. We are not supposed to be favorites in this match, I will remind you. We're supposed to be the underdogs, and boy, who's looking like the underdog now, huh? 2-1 match, and hopefully we can have some kind of defense. I mean, the defense hasn't been that poor. You know, the problem that we had that last go-around was simply a little bit of bad luck. The defender got his foot onto that shot, probably was in a poor position, should have moved his body instead of moving his foot over. But, you know, I mean, it was a little bit of bad luck, I think, associated with that. Hopefully that doesn't happen again, but you never know. And I'm not quite sure what our man here is doing. He goes over to the defender and then runs away from him when he has the ball. Atu there is able to grab that one and knocks one way over the top looking for Norty. Can't quite find him. Teoni now to Norty. Norty with this, and that's a beautiful ball forward to Miley, and unfortunately he just doesn't have the finish. There was a thread on Reddit today talking about whether finishing means anything for a striker or not. I'm guessing when you're at this level, it probably means something. You probably need to have some kind of finishing ability because that was just absolutely awful. And it's back with Logo again, who knocks this one forward. The fun part about playing at this level, though, is that everybody's sort of equally bad. I don't know if we can win the Champions League from this level, but maybe we can get somebody's attention for a job change. And Norty's shot is blocked, and that will go over for a corner. We'll take a look at this one again. And this was this play here where Loke passes one forward to Norty, and yeah, that was a really good deflection there by the defense. See, note that when their defenders get a foot on it, it goes over the goal instead of into the goal. Here's Afi knocking this corner forward, and it was a good one near post, but didn't quite hit anybody. There's the pass over to Norty on the side, and he has a shot that unfortunately sort of floats up in the air, and that's an easy grab for Logo. Walter now with the throw-in over to Norty. Norty with it back to Walter. Over to Miley. Miley looks down, over to Walter again to Loke, and boy, that was close, and that one hit off that crossbar. We've hit a lot of crossbars here, a lot of woodwork. Latu throws into Norty, back to Latu. Latu looks forward to Miley, and he's one-on-one with the keeper, and he misses. Oh, man. How do you miss that? How do you miss that? That's that finishing, right? Just like I was saying, it's that finishing. If you have a little bit of finishing at this level, you'd be a star. He's got the pace. He's in front of everybody, and he just misses. That's all he does. He just misses it. He does the right thing with it. He shoots far corner. The goalkeeper is absolutely confused, and he just misses the angle. Miley over to Teoni. Teoni looks back and finds Norty, and that's got to go in, and it's Afi there with his first goal of the season, and he was always going to score that one, and that really is fitting with the sort of match he's had for us so far, and don't look now, PanSa East FC are up 3-1. I told you this is no trick tactic. This is a tactic that I slapped together at the last minute, kind of with a prayer and a hope that something would work, and when we have players like Afi, we end up having things like this happen. We have a 2-goal lead against a team that's supposed to finish above us, but there's still quite a bit of time remaining, so we'll see what happens. We'll see if we can hold on to this or not. And it is right now Pago Youth who have the ball, and it's Milani, but we are able to get onto that one from Walter with a really, really poor pass, and this is not looking so good. And there is a goal for PanSa Collins, and that was a pretty good shot that I thought was going to be off the woodwork and out, and unfortunately for us, that one went in. We could call that a little bit of luck as well. This is just a really, really poor attempt by Walter to try to get that one knocked out of the zone. And there's not much we can do when they're hitting goals like that from range. That's 2 now that they've hit from range like that. There's not much that we can do to defend against that. So you want to talk about, you know, different league settings and stuff like that. This is definitely not the defensive league, I'll tell you that. Atu runs over and grabs that one, and with a defense like this in front of him, he better run over and grab everything. And it's over to Afi, who can't quite get it. It's back to Latu, who looks for Afi, and he's behind the defense. And he has a good shot, and Logo ends up grabbing onto that one. There was no offside call there. There probably could have been one. Let's take a quick look here and see what you think. Yeah, it's kind of close. I don't know. Sort of, I say maybe a 50-50 call. If we had the lines on there, I think it would show that he was right on the line. So, I mean, it's kind of up to the discretion of the referee. And that will be the end of the first half. We do have Afi here with a corner, so something might happen here again. And he looks for Fetao, and that should have been knocked in by whoever that was there standing right in front of the goal. I don't know how he missed that. I don't know what happened here. And Palipua has the ball right in front of him with a wide open goal, and he misses it. Welcome to American Samoa, everybody. Wow. We have had a lot of shots on target today. Is anybody having a really poor game? No, everybody's playing pretty well except for Atu, but I can't really blame him because the one shot was deflected. The other shot came off the top crossbar. I mean, he's not 10 feet tall. Teoni now with it. Walks it up forward, and there's a little bit of a pass over to Norty. Can't quite find him, though. I guess we can blame Atu for poor passes on those goal kicks, but, I mean, what do you want me to do about that? Fetuao now with it and lumps this one forward. That's a real lump forward job, by the way. It ends up with Norty over to Mile, and he passes it forward looking for Afi and finds him. Afi now with this, and he's got a couple guys across it too, and there it is to Corey Norty, and he's going to score from there all day long. And it's 4-2 now, PanSa East FC. And boy, I kind of like the way that this one's looking. This was a very, very well created play by Afi, who really was tackled and should have been out of the play there. And he passes this over to Norty, who's standing right in the middle of everything with nobody even close to him. And that's probably the easiest goal he'll ever score. I guess not quite as easy as that goal that Afi scored, though. That was extraordinarily easy. And now all we need is a hat trick for our man up front to make this game complete. But instead, we get a poor pass from goal, and it's easily intercepted by them. And then we get a really poor effort to try to take it off of the Pago Youth offensive players. Fortunately for us, though, they like to lump it forward as much as we do. Atu passes this one forward looking for Mile, who lumps it forward looking for Norty. Can't find him. It's with Walter over to Loke, and there's the cross over to Mile. And you're going to have to try a little bit harder than that if you want to get your hat trick. I mean, it was an idea, but that's not going to work. Latu with this now, and he finds Afi. There is Afi, the best player on our team. And, boy, the game is starting to glitch all over the place, starting to slip and slide as they knock that one out for the corner. I think it was because of all these substitutions coming in. Fetuao now knocks this one forward, looking for Latu, and, boy, that just goes off of the top crossbar. It's back for another corner. How did that one miss? How many shots are we going to miss from point-blank range with nobody in front of us? Fetuao now goes back and takes another corner, and this is a near post, and he was looking for Latu and just couldn't find him. And we had numbers, too. We had a lot of men there on that near post, and it's a surprise that I wasn't able to meet the target, but that's kind of the way that it goes. This is lump forward again. It's Norty with it over to Mile. Mile walks it backwards, and he tries to pass over to Latu, and it ends up being intercepted, but then Latu goes back and gets it again. Mile is really only good for shooting. I don't know why he's trying to run back and do other passing things and other offensive things. We need him to go up and shoot. Norty with it over to Longkild. Longkild lumps this one forward, and it's with Teoni now to Loke. And where is that pass to? It's over to Latu. This is really odd decision-making, and it's over to Mile again, who has a header. That's what we need him to do. We need to say, son, you have to stand right there, wait for the ball to come and hit it over, right? Don't try to go backwards. Don't do anything fancy. You don't know what you're doing. Teoni now with the shot from range with a free kick. That ends up with Feitao, and then it ends up with Toa Mile, who gets his hat trick, and that makes it a 5-2 game for PanSa East FC. I'm not quite sure how this happened, but it happened, and we all saw it. We are all witnesses. Fetuao with the shot, and it hit that same crossbar twice as if there's a magnet there. And Mile just sort of stands there and waits and gets the loose ball and scores the goal, and he's got 3 and the perfect 10 rating, which is pretty good considering the kind of ridiculous things we've seen him do so far today. We're going to keep him out there, though, and see what happens, see if we kill our players in the process. Atu with the ball, passes this forward looking for Norty, can't quite find him. It's with Loke. Not with Loke, it's with the guy covering Loke. My mistake. We're going the wrong way. And Norty ends up with this one again over to Afi and then to Mile, over to Loke. Down to Teoni. Teoni with the cross looking for Mile. Can't quite find him. Loke with it again over to Teoni. Back to Walter. Walter with it forward to Lankilde, over to Loke. Loke over to Mile. And he takes a shot from range. And really what I want to see is Afi run forward over there into that area because there's nobody there. And there's just a little bit of miscommunication, I think, is what was going on. Some kind of questionable decision-making as well. And fortunately for us, that gets past Atu. Even, I guess it was deflected off of our guy or something like that. That was an example of some extraordinarily questionable goalkeeping. Samuelu knocks this one forward, and it's Fetuao who heads it backwards. And Samuelu is called offside on that one, which is thankful which I'm thankful for because I don't think that was going to end well for us otherwise. And they have a attempt on goal here, and boy, that was knocked out. There was an offside that was called. There was an obstruction that was called on the player. They announced that at the bottom which is kind of a rare event here in Football Manager. I think it's the first time I've seen that since I've been doing these on YouTube. Palipua over to Norty. Norty with it over to Miley. Miley looks forward for off. He can't quite find him. Just not quite enough pace. It's Miley who has all that pace. Of course, I say that I can't see what any of the attributes actually are, so it's all relative. Miley ends up with this ball again. What is he doing all the way back there? I mean, it's okay that he went over and won it, but does he know how to play his position? I think he's supposed to be an advanced forward, if I remember right. Not supposed to be one of these guys who's playing a complete forward type role where he's running all over the place. And they have the ball, and it's good for us that somebody was back to get a deflection. Latu throws himself in front of that shot, and that will bring up a corner. And I think that Pago Youth might end up scoring here. Let's see what happens. What happens? It's Ledoux who knocks this one forward, and it's Loke who gets a head onto that one. Samuelu with it, and it ends up back with Collins, and that's the end of that highlight. That one sort of whimpered out, didn't it? And I know that we have players who are tired. I know what you're saying. We should make some substitutions, but I don't think we're going to do so at the moment. We're going to keep going with what we've got, and this ends up back with Pago Youth with the attack, and Afi is just able to get onto that one, knock it forward to Miley, and he passes forward for Teoni over to Norty, and now we can set it up again. Lankilde over to Afi again. Afi down to Loco. Loco beats his man. Very nicely done over to Norty, who scores the goal. That's his second of the game, and it is 6-2 now, PanSa FC. PanSa East FC, and I tell you, the story of the season so far has been how quickly can you get to 6 goals. And as I said before, there's no tactical weirdness going on. This is just a wing play tactic with a little bit of a counter press turned on and a few very, very minor adjustments, but this is not a strange tactic at all. I haven't started really reading the articles and going to tactic school, so my apologies out there to a view from the touchline. I still have your site bookmarked. I'm going to read it, I promise. Just don't give me a test before I've done so. Collins now with this, and that's a goal by Samuelu, who probably was looking for a goal all game long. It makes it 6-3. Now, the question here is whether we're going to fall apart at the end of this match the way that we did at the end of the last one. And this was really, really good pass there by Collins, and Atu's is not... He's not a good enough goaltender to make the stop. We're going to do what we can to upgrade this team. Remember that we have no money. There's no transfer budget. These are all amateur players, and we could not make any signings coming into this because the first transfer window was turned off. Keeping that in mind, it is possible that we might be able to convince some guys to come over to our club once the next transfer window begins, but that won't be until after the end of the season. So we'll see what happens. We'll have a little bit of a window, and we'll see what we can do. Atu this time with a good save. And, we'll do what we can to get this club built up. We're not going to go anywhere for a while unless, of course, I fail out and lose, and then we'll just go somewhere else and get another job and fail again. Walter with it, passes this one forward looking for Miley, cannot find him. And it's Lankilde with the very, very dangerous tackle from behind. And they call the foul there on Pure Sala, even though it wasn't a foul. That looked like a ridiculous foul. He gets upset and he knocks the ball as far as he can away. I wonder if there's going to be a suspension after that one. That was ridiculous. That should have been a red card on our player with the scissors tackle from behind, and not only did they not call that, they called the other way, even though it was pretty clear that nothing happened. You can go back and rewind that and watch that one again. I think that was a very, very suspicious red card, or second yellow card, I should say. I don't see where that one came in at all, and he threw a fit afterwards, and I don't blame him for it. Collins with the shot from close range, and of course Atu is nowhere even close to it, but we hold on to this lead. That was kind of a home team call, I suppose, wasn't it? Collins with it again. Collins is the one-man show, and how do you think he missed that? Atu, I suppose, blocked that. We couldn't see it from our angle. And so the score remains 6-3 in favor of PanSa East FC. But, I mean, how does Collins miss this, right? Look at this. Atu's in no man's land, and, he just gets ahead. He gets the top of his head onto it. He hits it with his bald spot. And so it's Ledoux here with the corner, and this match is going on almost 20 minutes. We've had a lot of that going on lately, haven't we? It's back to Ledoux, over to Teoni now. Back to Lankilde. Lankilde with it. Over to Afi. Afi with the ball. And he needs to slow down a little bit. He does. And then he knocks this one forward over to Miley. And that is the final whistle. We have won 6-3. This is the match that we dominated. Look at that. It's 6.22 XG. 36 shots, 14 on target. We didn't even dominate the possession. But we looked excellent in this match. Hope you enjoyed that one. Boy, I'll tell you, I like that one a lot. And stay tuned as always for more because we're going to keep the party going. Talk to you later. Bye.